Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. Something from Kunwu, something kind of new, also, very familiar. Check down in the description for links to this guy. Availability is going to vary, but that's where you can find it when it is in stock. Thanks to Kunwu for sending us in. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex and on TikTok at _metal_complex. What do we have? Certainly my favorite model from Kunwu. That first cut did absolutely nothing. My favorite model from Kunwu, but a new variation. I know a lot of you are aware of this. I actually linked this in my community tab before I even had my hands on it because I knew it was going to be great. This is the Padre, but the element, the special element here is that it is the X Padre, meaning it has, is that what they call it, their X lock? It has the crossbar lock, which is super cool. And they sent me the one with the DLC. Oh, that's so beautiful. So this is, let's see, they're doing L-Max on these. What do they do? So I have the titanium frame lock version here. Oh, they also, no, they did Vanax. So we have L-Max and Vanax. I like both. I think they're great. L-Max is going to have better edge retention. Vanax is going to have better corrosion resistance. Both are excellent for EDC. And this one in particular, really my favorite thing about these knives, the Kunwu DLC knives, is how they look. This is actual DLC, not paint, right? If you're new to knives, if you go to the gas station and there's a pocket knife you can get that has a black blade, that's just paint. There's nothing special about it. But some coatings actually provide not only extra corrosion resistance, but extra scratch resistance. Some of the better ones are going to include Cerakote, PVD, and especially, in fact, head and shoulders above the other two, a DLC coating, which is incredibly hard to scratch, incredibly hard, and also provides incredible additional corrosion resistance on top of whatever the composition of the blade is providing by itself. So that's very cool. Something that I am noting right off the bat here is how good those Omega Springs feel. Maybe Sergio can pop into the comments and let me know. Is it in my head, or are you using stronger Omega Springs on this guy? Because this feels much better. I liked the compact Chad. It was great, right? I liked it. I just noted, it'd be nice if we had some higher tension Omega Springs. I was just looking off camera to see if there were additional Omega Springs included in here, and there are not. I think that that would be a really great idea, putting extra Omega Springs in there. I feel like you guys did that at one point. I don't know why not anymore, but this feels like it has higher tension Omega Springs in it. So not only does it feel more secure on lock engagement, but the deployment, I guess because there's more pressure, that feels way better than I thought it was going to. The only, a lot of times the only downside to a crossbar lock like this is it's never going to feel as good as a titanium frame lock with a detent ball, right? And it still doesn't. Like, I'm going to let you guys know, this version still feels better. But this feels really, really good, right? I mean, we're talking, I would say about 90%. It's really great. I mean, I can easily thumb flick it. I can also easily reverse flick it, no problem. That takes this knife to a whole new level. So now, instead, and Kunwu has always done, if I'm not mistaken, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, they've always done a left-handed, or they started doing a left-handed version of this too, and that's great, right? Now we have the crossbar lock version, so we do not have an exposed frame lock, which some people, including myself, are not the biggest fans of. Also notice they just decided not to do the Damascus pivot collar, which is kind of a bummer, but also that's okay, right? But anyways, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought because I wanted to talk about the pivot collar there. Yeah, we have a locking system that is ambidextrous, does not have the exposed frame lock, which bothers some people. I remember what I was going to say. Bothers some people, including myself, because as you're squeezing it, I don't like feeling that lock bar being mashed into the blade tank, even though you are assisting it, I guess, in locking out. Further, I like the lock to do the lock's work by itself without the assistance of a squeeze, right? So frame locks are fine, but when I can get a system that locks and is not altered in any way by me just using the knife, right? It all comes down to preference. Frame locks, the crossbar locks, they're all fine, but I do prefer something like this, you know, in some cases, not always, but in terms of, I guess, not the action, but just the lockup and reliability in that department, yes. And then fully ambidextrous with an ambi mounting position for the pocket clip. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, these DLC ones were coming in at like 260 to 280, something like that, which I think is fine, considering you're getting a titanium pocket clip, titanium bag spacer, you're getting beautiful textured titanium, you're getting LMAX, which is absolutely a super steel, a premium steel, and then you're getting probably like one of the best satin finish DLC finishes on the market right now. They just are really doing a great job with that. It just really looks fantastic. Pleasant surprise with the high tension Omega springs. That is a really nice touch there, and everything feels really, really solid. Yeah. I've never had lockout issues with Kunwu. I don't expect to, right? Unless you're like swinging it incredibly hard. I mean, if I really wanted to, I'm sure that I could swing this like as hard as I could, which I'm not going to do because that doesn't prove anything. Let's weigh it real quick. I doubt. Oh, I went to disengage it like a like a frame lock. No lock stick on that whatsoever. None. None. Beautiful. And then action coming back down. Oh yeah, wonderful. All right. Weight, 5.68 ounces. Is that different than this guy? Heavier. Interesting. Why? Because of a steel liner? No. What is different? Is this larger? Does it have more titanium? That's odd. What is making this weigh? I mean, I can feel it. Is the hardware steel? Is something... Hold on. This is giving me the wrong reading now. Okay, that says a little over 5. Let's try this. Wow, okay. Well, maybe I'm missing something. But this guy is definitely a little bit heavier. Odd. Is there something in there that I'm missing? Yeah, I think maybe there's a steel... I think actually these are... Yeah, there we go. You see the lip right there? Has to be a steel liner. Yep, there we go. That's the answer right there. Okay, that makes sense. And that's to accommodate for the crossbar system. So it was just almost invisible. Wild. Okay. And then real quick, I'm also going to measure it. I don't think that anything is different. I mean, they don't appear to be different at all. Overall length of the crossbar lock, or Padre X, coming in still at 8 inches with a 3.5 inch blade. Just a couple of size comparisons so you guys can get an idea. Put it up against a big boy here, the AD10. There we go. The Benchmade grip cylinder, in this case, the Ritter Hogue. Maybe the PM2 would be a good one. And how about the Demco AD 20.5? There we go. Certainly my favorite model. Definitely ergonomically, I think the most sound, right? Really, really cool. Big fan of putting a crossbar lock on this guy, and like I said, pleasantly surprised to feel at least what I assume are higher tension Omega springs. That's going to be it for the unboxing and first impressions. This is not a review, just reminding people this is not how I do reviews. I always like to give my first impressions on knives right out of the box, and then down the road do a full comprehensive review once I've had some time with it. So in the meantime, if you want to check this out, I'll link it in the description. Thanks again to Kunwu Knives for sending this out. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex and on TikTok at _metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.